Hello. Today is March 3rd, and I felt like sharing some of my thoughts and opinions as somebody who is vaguely and mostly, uh, as far as the internet's concerned, pretty much nobody. Uh, and somebody who's decided after a much long hiatus to play guitar again after originally having joined a band that just didn't necessarily work out. And I kind of wanted to give my thoughts and feelings. I'm somebody who probably makes excuses for doing lower quality things. And as somebody who grew up on much younger YouTube, I'm a lot more accustomed to very poorly done videos than the current landscape where every single video, no matter regardless of scale or size or how many views it has, everything is done almost professionally to the point to where there's very little personality to it. And I guess I just have a little bit of nostalgia for very poorly cheap cameras, cheap audio. Yeah, I think that we too often forget that, and we take for granted how much work goes into a lot of people's free content. As somebody who is in the guitar community, I think that we have a spending problem. That we constantly try to find excuses to find new toys. We think that we're always trying to look for the next expensive thing that in the grand scheme of things isn't really improving onto much. And I think we very often forget the beauty of playing guitar. When I see a lot of guitar videos today, I see people with cameras that are multiple thousands of dollars, people playing on equipment that costs multiple thousands of dollars, people who spend and who seemingly have an endless supply of money for new products and constant reviews and constant content for the sake of it being created. And in a world full of algorithms, we're kind of incentivized as content creators. I'm not really much of a content creator. I'm a hobbyist who occasionally will make videos, but I do feel as though content creators are pressured and forced to make videos for the sake of staying relevant. And I think you can find this phenomenon nearly everywhere you look in life. You can find this in the exercise community. How when I was younger, somebody squatting 315 pounds was considered an elite squat because it was something that wasn't commonly done. And as more people became interested in working out, the standards of what is considered to be somewhat impressive for working out is now a little bit lopsided. And it's almost as if you have to, for most people, you'd either have to be training for years and years and years to basically meet some sort of arbitrary standard that people just see everywhere on the internet, or you essentially have to take steroids. I think a very similar thing has happened with music. I think there's a certain beauty in acknowledging that it's okay to have some form of limitations. I am a decent player, but I also happen to play sloppily sometimes. And I think we take it a little bit too seriously and for granted how much time it actually takes to be really, really, really good at something. And we see videos today where people are playing at absurd speeds. Very often, people end up getting caught faking their videos because they're that pressured to performing something good. And it's almost as if we've gotten to the point to where we don't really care if the music that we're creating even sounds good or interesting or is even fun to play. A lot of the stuff that I play is stuff that I choose to play because I enjoy it, and As somebody who's 30 years old, I don't really fully expect anything that I do to really make me millions of dollars or to be a full career. I think that the world that we live in kind of pressures people to turn everything into a career or into a business. And while it is good to be able to make money doing things that you love to do, I think it gets in the way of why you actually love it. If I didn't, I'm not, I'm going to probably keep playing guitar and I'm probably going to keep working out and I'm probably going to keep writing books and other things that I enjoy to do. I don't really care if it makes money. And while it is impressive to reach a wide audience of people, I think in the day and age, especially now that we've overvalued AI and content being created for the sake of having more content, we're just kind of giving you more of a reason to keep your eyes glued to the screen. This is basically your unk telling you to get off the screen for a little bit and actually learn a skill or use that screen to learn how to do something and just kind of enjoy it for the sake of it because you're most likely not going to become wildly successful. And the more successful you are with something, the more it's going to feel like a job. And I don't know about you, but I already have a job and I don't need everything in my life to feel like a job. If I get an opportunity to play guitar for a career, that's one thing. But the expectation or the overwhelming desire to do that should not override your desire to actually enjoy the thing that you're doing. And I guess I'm just gonna play some random improvising for an outro.